I'm Derek, owner of Derek's Reef Shop. Our first video, we're going to talk about how to set up a saltwater aquarium. We have a lot of people that come into the shop here asking us how to get into the hobby or transfer an existing freshwater tank into a saltwater tank. So we're going to go all in details how to set up a saltwater tank. So we're going to break it all in different videos, but we're going to first start off with how the difference between a tank that has a sump and a tank that doesn't have a sump. All right, so now we're going to talk about having a tank that is with a sump. This is the most popular one, is having a tank drilled with a sump underneath. A sump is actually an aquarium that is underneath the tank that you have all your equipment in with a return pump pumping water up into the tank, over the overflow box, and back into the sump. So you have that circulation up and down from the main display tank down to the sump and back up, which creates a lot of oxygen for your water. And also, you have a bigger water volume, which is better for parameters for your tank. And the other good point about it, having a sump, is that your protein skimmer and all your gear, your heater and your protein skimmer is inside of it. If you want to do dosing and all that, everything is down in your sump. So you don't have equipment hanging into your display tank. If you don't have a tank that is drilled, everything will be inside the tank. So your protein skimmer will be there, your heater will be in there, and then for a protein skimmer, you can either have it inside or hang on the back, which just takes the look out of a saltwater fish tank. So you're far better having a sump for your saltwater tank. Now let's talk about drilling a tank. Now whenever you drill a tank, you drill either at the bottom or the back glass or the side glass, wherever you want. If you want to do the bottom, you got to make sure it's not tempered glass. So if you have an existing aquarium, 99% of the time the bottom is tempered glass, but the sides are not. So do not drill tempered glass because they will just shatter on you. So if you have tempered glass, you would drill the back side of the tank. You make your holes for your overflow box and one for your return. As you can see here, there's 5 pipes here. 2 of them are returns, 1 on each end, and 3 here are your overflows. So this is called a bean animal overflow box, which is super silent because the first full siphon pipe here that you see here has a 90-degree elbow on it. So when the water rises into the overflow box, it doesn't gargle. If you have just a pipe that is straight and water falls into it, it's going to gargle, and you'll hear that gargling noise from your aquarium all the time. So it's good to have that 90-degree angle on your full siphon so it keeps it completely silent. So your water level will be just above the elbow, and water will be sucked from underneath where that elbow is. Now your second one here, which is just for security, you can have it a little trickle in there, but that is just in case the first one plugs. Your second one here can take the overflow. And if this one plugs, the third one kicks in. And this is completely dry. Usually I like having a little trickle on this one, but this one here is completely dry. So if you have a snail that crawled over your overflow box, you get a fish that jumped in, and got sucked into your full siphon, the secondary is going to kick in. If something happens to the secondary, you have a third one here, which is completely dry, can take the overflow. This way here, you know that your water is not going to overflow your aquarium and make a mess on your floor. Now, as soon as you start hearing some gargling, obviously you need to come and check your aquarium to make sure that your full siphon is not plugged. If it is plugged, you need to unplug it. Now, I never glue the elbow onto this pipe here. I never glue it because I can remove that. If a snail crawled in there, I can remove it, take the snail out, put it back. If you ever glue this, you'll have a hard time getting that snail out of there whenever a snail goes in there. So if you hear some gargling, that's what you got to do. You need to check your full siphon, make sure everything is clear and okay. Now, if you don't have a drill tank, you want to convert your existing tank, but you don't have the money to spend on the plumbing and on the sump, the return pump, and all that. Well, you can do a tank that is not drilled. The only issue is all your equipment will be inside the tank, which takes away the look of your saltwater aquarium. So your heater, your protein skimmer will all be in there. Some protein skimmers hang on backs where the pump is on externally. It doesn't work as well as a skimmer that's inside the sump. And the other thing too, if that pump starts leaking, you're going to get water on the floor, and that's no fun. So that is how to set up a saltwater aquarium. We really recommend having your tank drilled, having an overflow box, and have it with the sump. From here, this is the inside of the tank. So here you can see the overflow box. This is a custom-made overflow box, which is a big one because we want to have a lot of return going to this tank. This is a big tank. So we want at least 1,500 gallons per hour as a return pump going to this tank. So water is gonna fill the tank up and start going through these teeth right here. The teeth here are made so that will stop critters from going into the overflow box. It's not 100% safe for critters not to go in there, but it does prevent a lot of snails not going in there. But we do have some snails that like crawling out of the water. It may go onto the other side here, or fish may be able to jump into the overflow box also. So water level is going to fill in here, and then it's going to fall through the teeth and go into the box, fill the overflow box into the bean animal overflow system. Another thing is, if you ever decide you want to get into a fish tank, into your house, the first thing we ask our customers is, can your floor support the weight? That is very important, because in a aquarium like this, 150 gallon, you're talking about 1.1 tons, 1.2 tons of weight. So you got to make sure your floor can support it. Another thing is, you got to, wherever you set up your aquarium, you got to make sure there's no windows involved where you get direct sunlight hitting the tank. So it's very important placement of your tank in your house for those two reasons. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Please follow us on our YouTube channel. I'm Derek with Derek's Free Shop, Derek's TV.